The Trump tariff rebate checks are gaining a lot of popularity. They could be as high as $600, $1,200, $1,800, or even as high as the maximum $2,400 for millions of Americans. This is probably even better than the stimulus checks because this is coming from money that that America has actually made. So Senate Republicans want Americans to get $600 checks from tariff revenue, as tariff revenue is actually a little higher than expected, and we have some new video footage.
He has officially introduced this piece of legislation entitled American Worker Rebate Act of 2025.
I'll play you that full video clip as Senator Hawley is pushing for these $600 checks going out to millions of Americans. Basically everybody making less than $75,000, which could be you. As long as you're making less than $75,000, you could get this $600 check. If you have dependents or a family of four, you can get $2,400 checks from this bill. So I'll give you the latest on the Trump tariff rebate checks, let you know what you need to know, what's been coming out. I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these rebate check and Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. So Senate Republicans want Americans to get $600 checks from tariff revenue. To be honest, if you asked me this a week or two ago, I would have never expected this. I think this is better than the stimulus checks, better than the Doge dividend checks, because this is coming from new money, new revenue, tariff revenue that America is generating and then giving a piece to the American people, also paying down the debt, compared to the stimulus checks, which were great on the American consumer side, right? Because they got money, they could do whatever they want with it. The only problem is there wasn't a way to fund it. It didn't really come from money generated. It basically came from money out of America's bank account, or essentially America's credit card, which has an unlimited spending amount. So let's get into this, the tariff rebate check. So far, tariffs have raked in billions of dollars and have set the administration on a pace to achieve a once lofty goal of $300 billion in total revenue to the federal government from across the board duties. So meaning with this extra tariff money, there is something in the bill that can make it a higher check, higher than $600. Basically, if it reaches the certain minimum amount to give the $600, if it makes more than that, it can actually give a higher check than $600. If you've been following this story, let me know down in the comments below. Do you agree with the tariff rebate checks? A good idea, bad idea? Or are you just like, I don't care, just put money in my account? Let me know down in the comments below. So with this, it would be $600 per adult and child. Hold on, $600 per adult and child, and with a maximum of $2,400. So basically, for July, the administration has brought in about $28 billion. That's $1 billion higher than all of June's tariffs revenue. So looks like they're on pace to make $150 billion for the year. Also, we got this article right here. I'll go over what some people are saying about it. American families could get $2,400 rebate checks from tariff money. So I'm going to get into this as there are some quotes from some people in this. But first, let's take a listen to this video clip right here.
Connor, thank you. We have continuing coverage now at 6:45 of tariffs. There is an idea that's being floated around now the nation's capital. Rebate checks from the money coming in from those tariffs.
Our Scripps News Group's Joe St. George has what the idea could mean for you and your wallet.
Well, remember those stimulus checks from a few years back? The federal government depositing a few $100 in your bank account during COVID-19? Well, a similar idea has been introduced in Congress, not because of a global health emergency, but because of the record amount of revenue being brought in through tariffs. Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri has officially introduced this piece of legislation entitled American Worker Rebate Act of 2025. It's based on the belief that the federal government is bringing in a record amount of tariff revenue, and as a result, the American people deserve a cut. In June, for instance, the federal government reported a new tariff revenue record of over $26 billion. That is quadruple the amount from the same month last year. Even more tariff revenue appears to be on the way. President Donald Trump announcing new tariff rates for European countries in recent days.
I think it's great that we made a deal today instead of playing games.
Here is how the proposed tariff rebate plan could possibly work. According to Senator Hawley's legislation, $600 per adult and child would be deposited by the Treasury Department into Americans' bank accounts. Individuals making under $75,000 a year and couples who file their taxes jointly and make under $150,000 would qualify. Those earning more would receive a reduced payout. The amount could even increase depending on if tariff revenue booms even more. The legislation is still in its introductory phase, however, with the House of Representatives already leaving Washington until early September, so no formal action is expected soon. Of course, the government doesn't have to give the newfound money to Americans. Some fiscal conservatives have suggested the money could help pay down the nation's debt or even help pay for President Trump's one big, beautiful bill. President Trump himself has already talked about this idea of a possible rebate check back to Americans. Of course, many economists say that tariffs are a form of a tax and that inflation will tick up in the coming months because of all of these new tariff rates. Inflation was a bit higher in June compared to May, although still under 3%. Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.
What are your thoughts there on the rebate checks? Still, I think it should be called, what do you think it should be called? Tariff rebate checks or tariff checks, new stimulus checks, Trump stimulus checks? Let me know your thoughts on that. All right, so what Josh Hawley said is, like President Trump proposed, my legislation would allow hardworking Americans to benefit from the wealth that Trump's tariffs are returning to this country. And when asked about it last week, Trump said, we're thinking about that actually. So actually the way it worked out is Trump said he was thinking about these Trump tariff rebate checks. And then a few days later, Josh Hawley came out with the actual legislation, meaning that if there is a vote on this, it could actually happen. Compared to the Doge dividend checks, we were told you would get a $5,000 check, but there was no legislation to back it up. We heard the founders of it, James Fishbeck, saying, hey, we're working on legislation. There was never any legislation, meaning that the Doge dividend check probably not going to happen. No legislation to back it up. At least with this, there is some legislation. Also, what's saying here is we have so much money coming in, we're thinking about a little rebate. But the thing we want to do is pay down debts, but we're thinking about a rebate. So, yeah, it looks like things are looking pretty good for this. As mentioned also in that video, the Senate is going to be out for a while. So it's possible that they could vote on this. They're going to have to work on the budget before the government shutdown again. And maybe this could be part of the legislation as well. Not sure, but let me know your thoughts. And that is all the news that I have for today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my Donor Bell's tip of the day.
Oh, hi guys, I didn't see you there. Guys, can I tell you tip of the day because you know, I'm still in South Carolina. I know it looks like in a different place, but let's get over it. Can I tell you the thing that you should really actually do when someone's hurt or you're hurt? You should like really do something really good and help them out because that they're hurt. You can't let a person hurt. Stay there. I know you guys would do such a great thing, even better than that. Like help them up or something. I bet you can too. So that's all the advice that I wanted to give to you today. And also this is my sister Kalaya. Say hi. Hi. Bye.
If you haven't heard about those $1,000 Trump accounts, also the money, these accounts are supposedly a backdoor to privatizing Social Security. You're not going to want to miss that. Coming directly from the Treasury Secretary. Click that video over there, and I'll see you in that video. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.